also, so many people are trying to compare Jehovah's Witnesses with people like Charles Manson, Adolf Hitler, etc., etc. Wow, that's all I have to say. It's just wow, because if you're comparing them to people like that, clearly something in your mind isn't working right. A few gears have stopped turning, a few screws have fallen loose. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. And honestly, people make me laugh because their arguments really make no sense.
What you're doing here is argumentum ad ridiculum. You're purposely picking out the most ridiculous application of your opponent's argument, probably out of context, in order to try to ridicule it. Hence why you say, makes you laugh. You're also using argumentum ad lapidem, which is dismissing a statement as absurd without giving proof of its absurdity. Your proof is, wow. At most, I'm betting people called Nazis and the Manson family a mind control cult, which they think Jehovah's Witnesses are as well. They fit the bite model just as well as other destructive mind cults.
Luscious v. Bogeyman, whoever this guy is, he wasted 45 minutes of his time making videos about me. I mean, honestly, 45 minutes? Like, do you have nothing better to do with your time?
Come on, man. Don't make fun of what Dustin likes to do in his free time. It seems Dustin likes to make rambling videos naked and eating Angus third-pounder hamburgers from McDonald's. It seems you like making video responses to videos that you don't watch, belaboring the same point over and over again that others have already refuted, and I guess also misspelling things. I like pro wrestling and video editing, like this.
When I jump out of an alley and kick you in the balls, you better be ready to take responsibility for that, because I'm going to have my camera with me, and all of YouTube will know that you're a big pile of shit.
So many people on YouTube are like, well, the religion's telling his family to do this and this and this and this. Well, they're making a choice. Do they have to do it? No, they don't. But they choose to. It's free will. That's what I don't get about so many of you people. You act like people don't have free will, like they don't have a choice to do what they want.
The definition of a mind control cult is to take away people's free will. Again, look at the bite model from Steve Hassan. He originally commented on Finn's video talking about his mother shunning him, and apparently it's because it was her choice. Well, let's take a look at the bite model and see if anything seems to apply here, okay? Under B for behavior control, regulates where, how, and with whom the member lives and associates with. Rewards and punishments, behavior modification techniques, positive and negative. Rigid rules and regulations, and need for obedience and dependency. So let's see, because Finn left the religion, she's been regulated not to associate with him. If she does, she would be punished. If she doesn't, she'll be rewarded as an example of good Christian behavior in the congregation. The rule is rigid because it could cost her punishment if she disobeys. The religion requires her obedience, and she will be punished. It seems in this case the group is controlling her behavior, and it's not free will. Under I for information control, deliberately holding back information, distorting information to make it acceptable. Access to non-cult sources of information are minimized or discouraged. That would be books, articles, newspapers, magazines, TV, internet, radio, critical information, and access to former members. Past sins used to manipulate and control. No forgiveness or absolution. Let's see here. So Finn's mother is having information about her son deliberately withheld due to the disfellowshipping rule. She is told that shunning her son is the right thing to do, distorting information to make it acceptable. Access to her son, who is considered apostate, a former member with critical information on the internet, is basically forbidden. There's no forgiveness of the sin until he returns. It looks like she's being controlled via information and not by her free will. Under T, for thought control. Need to internalize the group's doctrine as truth. Us versus them, or inside versus outside thinking. They adopt loaded language, thought-stopping techniques to shut down reality testing by stopping negative thoughts and allowing only good thoughts. Rejection of rational analysis, critical thinking, or constructive criticism. No critical questions about leader, doctrine, or policy are seen as legitimate. No alternative belief systems are viewed as legitimate, good, or useful. So here, Finn's mom internalizes her religion as truth. Hence, her son was leaving the truth. It's us versus them, as in her religion is against the world, which she now views her son as. She would call him worldly or apostate, which is loaded language. She adopted a technique of not talking to her son whatsoever, and avoids talking to him in general, to anyone, to stop herself from thinking what she has done shutting her son out of her life. She doesn't allow critical questions about the group because she wouldn't listen to Finn when he had them. And no matter what Finn does with his life, none of it will be considered legitimate or good. And finally, under E, for emotional control. Manipulate and narrow the range of a person's feelings. Make the person feel like if there are ever any problems, it's always their fault, never the leaders or the groups. Excessive use of guilt. Excessive use of fear. No happiness or fulfillment is found outside of the group. Terrible consequences will take place if you leave. Shunning of leave takers. Never a legitimate reason to leave. So let's see here. So Finn's mom is not supposed to feel sadness for not being able to talk to her son. The problem in shunning her son is her son's fault, not the religion's. It's her fault for not raising him right, which is the use of guilt. Actually, you show this too, as you're pointing that nothing is the group's fault. It's all the people in it, imperfect men or whatever it may be. Fear is used to motivate in that she could be shunned if she doesn't shun her son. She thinks there's no happiness outside the group and thinks her son is miserable. If she leaves, she'll feel that she'll die at Armageddon and she'll lose all of her friends that she's had for most of her life. She's shunning her son right now who left and won't accept his reason as legitimate for leaving, which you question as well. Okay, so that's all the properties of someone being in a mind control cult, with their free will severely suppressed. So again, how is it her free will to choose to shun her son, with all these destructive mind control techniques being used against her?